Congratulations on the win. I think I'd be right in saying that you thought his head was hard.
Bro, that guy has a granite chin. Jesus. I know he got knocked out by one guy, but apparently the only punches that you could knock him out with are the ones he doesn't see. But yeah, no, his head is made of friggin' rock.
Yeah, we've seen people talk to each other in the cage before, but I don't think I've ever seen someone speak as loudly and as frequently as you just did to him.
You know, man, like, me and him were vibing, dude. Like, when you meet, like, a kindred soul, I knew me and that guy, like, dude, you like to scrap, I like to scrap, you like to box, I like to box. Like, we're going to box. I like this. I mean, I don't even feel like it was an MMA fight. I feel like it was a boxing match.
It's rare we see someone say, okay, I'm going to give you a chance to win with, like, 30 seconds left of the fight.
Well, dude, I'll tell you what, as I said it, simultaneously, I'm picturing me in the back room, sitting down, knocked out in the corner, telling myself, like, and my coach is looking at me like, Sean, you're an idiot. So as I'm telling him that, I'm thinking that, but I'm like, whatever, man, we're doing it. We're doing it, Jack.
That's awesome. How do you feel about your own performance? Obviously, we're talking about how hard he is, but how do you feel you looked?
I mean, I'm like my worst critic, man. I could knock somebody out, and I go in the back, and I'm hating on myself. Don't ask me how I looked. I'll critique every moment of it. I hit him. I didn't follow up. I was one shot, and I'm like, don't ask me how I looked. You know, I did okay.
Fair enough. You know, sometimes it's frustrating not to get a finish right, but I think it's fair to say that when a guy's as tough as that, you can just sort of let it go and just be like, ah, well.
Well, you know, man, I really did try. Like, I was smacking him. Maybe I could have followed up a little bit more and tried to, like, put him out, but you know, that's something I'm gonna have to live with. And Jack, those overhands, man, when you're in there and he's throwing those overhands and they're smacking your arm, I mean, they're not landing, but, like, it's a scary feeling to feel somebody smack you with a rock in your arm. Like, oh man, that was like 5 inches closer. I've been waking up right now. So, yeah, no, his big power definitely hindered me wanting to go in there and smack him with a right when I staggered him. No, props to him for having a rock for a head and a rock for hands.
Cool. And last thing for me, I mean, we're seeing a lot of people fight frequently at the moment because the UFC just needs bodies. How soon do you want to get back in there?
You know, I'd like to get off a little bit and recalibrate. I train. I'm probably one of the hardest training athletes in the UFC. You know, where every day I'm in there twice a day. I don't take any time off. So I'd like to recalibrate, let my hands heal up, and then get back in there, make some money, man. I want some wars. I want the fans to enjoy the fights.
Congrats, man.
Sean, we'd heard that you'd been through quite a bit just to get back in the cage. Can you just talk about what it's like to be on the other side of it? You obviously had fun in there, but, you know, just emotionally to get to this point.
You know, man, I know I joke about me dropping out of high school and, like, this is all I do, but whenever I first had my accident, I had a lot of doctors. Every doctor I spoke to was telling me that, hey, you can fight for sure, but you probably shouldn't fight. So the hardest thing was just kind of telling these doctors to shut up, like, you don't know what I can or can't do. But the moment I started training again after about a year back, getting in the gym, being in the octagon, warming up, man, it just feels home. It feels like I belong here. And the accent kind of made me grow as an individual, because a lot of my fights, I've been so afraid of losing that I wasn't even enjoying it. And now, like, as you've seen with Jack, going through that, like, I don't really care about winning so much anymore. I just want to have good fights. Like, I want the fans to enjoy watching me, and I just want to have some wars for you guys. That's about it, man. I mean, it doesn't even feel like I took 2 years off. It feels like I just fought last week. I'm ready for it.
Do you remember a moment or just like a period of time in your recovery where you're like, no, I am going to be able to make it. I am going to turn this corner around to get back there?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, it would come down. I mean, I remember waking up, going into surgery off my bike, having a surgeon, like, I started crying. Not crying because, like, I wasn't crying because of pain or anything. I'm not going to feel anything. I was crying because when you're hearing a surgeon saying, hey, you're in a motorcycle accident, I just seen, like, my dreams just drift away. That was one of the hardest things. And after 12 weeks, you know, you start building yourself back up. You'll be good in 6 months. And you talk to a doctor, and they're like, whoa. Hey, you're still missing part of your kneecap. You still have a complete tear in your quad. And they start telling you all these things, and you're like, well, you can get it fixed, but you'll be out for a minimum of another 2 years. Like, no, I can't afford to be out for another 2 years. So a lot of it, man, people go through so much in this world. Look at Bisping. He fought with one eye. There's a guy in Bellator with one arm thrown down. Like humans are capable of so much, and the problem is we let so many people tell us what we can and cannot do. Man, you could do anything. You just got to man up or woman up and do it, you know? You can do anything.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
When you got back in there, I know it's been 2 years and you've been working things, you've been rehabbing your body. a lot of people would immediately say, oh, how much was ring rust was present, but was there also, how much are you feeling that you're back 100% with your body wise as well, going and having to get back in there?
You know, I mean, there'll be times I'll be in a long drive and I'll have to prop my leg on the dashboard just because I have so many arthritis in my tendon. But at the end of the day, man, like, it's all in your head, dude. You could do anything. All that pain, and you just put it out and you get in there and you enjoy it, you know? Like, I'll deal with that shit when I'm old. I'm 29. I got a few more years left in me. I'm gonna ride it till the wheels fall off. Let's have some fun.
And lastly, for me, the last time you fought, it was a very different scenario. Crowds were able to be there, you know, the whole environment. What was it like for you to return back into this, dealing with the fact that here you are coming back to fighting, but having it feel completely different than what you remember?
You know, man, I actually like the no crowds. I mean, no offense, I love crowds. We fight for the fans. Without the fans, we want it to exist. This sport wouldn't be there. But it was nice to be able to hear cracks, to be able to hear coaches talk. Like, it felt like I was just in a fun sparring session, you know? It was good. I enjoyed it. But I'm also looking forward to having the fans back again.
And looking forward to 2021, what sort of plans and goals do you have for yourself?
You know, man, like I said, I re-signed my contract right before my accident, so I have 3 fights left in the UFC. Win or lose, man, I've accepted that I might only fight 3 more times in the UFC. But at the end of the day, I just want to have great fights. I want the fans to enjoy watching me. I want whenever someone says, oh, Sean Strickland's fighting, I want them to say, oh, man, that guy's going to be a great fight. I want to watch that guy fight, win or lose. You know, that's kind of what I want. I don't really run my mouth. I don't really talk shit on people. I just want good fights.
Thank you. Congrats.
Thank you.
To your left here. I think after, you know, an accident like you've had, some people probably wouldn't get back on a bike. It seems like on your Instagram that's not the case for you. Can you explain that kind of mentality as far as getting right back on?
So I'm going to tell you something personal about me. When I was a kid, I was kind of like, you know, I was bullied a lot. My family kind of sucked. I love my mom, love my siblings. But, you know, I kind of sucked. And I remember being a kid watching Terminator, right? Like, Terminator was a man. He had a Harley. Like when I was a kid, I always wanted a bike. I wanted a bike. So, like, I'm addicted. I could never not have a motorcycle. And I hope to God that, you know, I don't crash, but it's just one of those things where, like, being on 2 wheels is just like, it's in my blood. I can't give it up.
Thank you.